Good morning, y'all. My name is Frank. Welcome back to the channel. It's Saturday, 8 o'clock. On my way to the shop. Know it's going to be a super busy, hectic day. It's just going to be busy. And then even furthermore, we had one of the barbers quit yesterday in the middle of the day. He struggles with his mental health very bad. Very bad. And I feel for him, man. He's a good dude. Very good. He's a good barber. He just struggles with his mental health, and he feels, I believe, he has schizophrenia. You know, he's right around that age where it starts kicking in, and he thinks people are talking about him. And there's so many people at the shop at any given time, and people are looking at other people. People are looking at other haircuts, you know, stuff like that. And he would just, you know, and one person specifically, he would be like, man, he talks about me in Spanish and thinks I don't understand, you know, and he's a Spanish guy also. So he brought this to my attention a couple weeks ago. So I said, you know what, I'm going to listen. I said, but the person you're speaking about, that's not him. He's the least confrontational person in the world. He's, you know, it's just not in his character at all. And I expressed that to him, right? I said, but I'll listen, you know, because you never know. So I would pay extra attention, right? And listen, and absolutely nothing at all. Nothing. You know, what I did notice was the guy that he thought was talking about him was actually looking to him to see if, all right, does he need help? Because does he need help with a haircut? You know, because the guy that struggles, he takes long with his haircuts. The other guy is you know, has been cutting for a while. He's been working with me for years. So he would look at him and almost like to see, okay, is he stuck on a haircut? Does he need help? And we all do that with each other to try to keep the shop moving and just to help one another. So I was like, man, he's actually trying to look out for you, you know, and I explained that to him, and he was like, okay, thank you. And then it would just happen with customers that came in. He would, a customer would be done getting a haircut with somebody, and he'd come over, and, you know, sometimes the customers come over and speak to me, and he would say, man, did that customer just complain about me? And I was like, no, why? Did something happen? And he's like, no, I just, you know, all right, forget it. I started to see that started happening a lot more. And I told him, I said, yo, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to speak to you, and I'm going to talk to you the way I would hope somebody would talk to me. And told him, I said, look, I think this has more to do with you than with other people. And that's when he told me, he said, no, he's like, I struggle with that. I have a, he's like, I feel like people are always, you know, talking about me and stuff. And then I explained to him about schizophrenia, and, you know, you're right around that age where males start having that. And, you know, from some of what he shared with me about his background, you know, it's sort of in line. You know, I ain't no fucking doctor, obviously. Barely holding on as a barber and a man and a human, but yeah. So he walked out in the middle of the day. He packed his stuff and he was just crying, man. And I felt bad for him. Even though I'm going through all the shit I'm going through, I felt bad for him. Because I could see him, he's just crying. And he wrote down on a piece of paper and said, thank you for everything, Frank. You know, I love you, the time that I've spent here. And he's only been there for a couple months. He's like, the time that I've spent here absolutely changed my life. Thank you. You know, and when I seen him doing all this, I said, yo, sit down. I'm going to talk to you as soon as I'm done with this haircut. Right? And then he was sitting in front. It's my chair as soon as you come through the door. And he was crying, and I didn't want to make it any I didn't want to make it any more awkward for him or for any of the customers coming in. So I said, yo, just take a seat in the back, tighten up real quick. I'll be back there. And then he just went out the back door. And man, listen, I have those moments every single day where I just want to, I just want to run. I don't know where, I don't know how. I just want to go because I'm sitting in the mirror and I'm fucking, I'm cutting hair and I'm crying and I'm hoping my customer doesn't catch me in the mirror, and I change my position so that I'm looking away from everybody else and nobody could see me, and I'll try to be real slick and wipe my tears and make it look like I'm doing something else, or I'll splash some water on my face to try to tighten up. Every single day, that's what I'm dealing with, So I understand, I'm empathetic and I'm sympathetic to a situation, but we can only do so much, right? That's what I go through every single day. I went to like a counseling session the other night, and I was asked, it was like, yo, how the fuck do you get out of bed and continue to go about your day? And I'm like, man, because I know, first of all, me staying in bed and crying, is it gonna feel good? Yeah, hell yeah, it will. But I know that's not in line with where I'm trying to go in life, period, right? I'm trying to better myself all the way around the board. Better man, better husband, better father, everything I can do. I want to be better, right? And I know going into bed and crying, because that's the way I feel. I don't want to get out of bed. I every single night, um, you know, crying myself to sleep. Sometimes it's a lot worse than others, but nonetheless, and this is, what, damn near 4 months, you know, already. But even before that, for like the past 6, 8 months, prior to the 4 months, it's the same thing. I'd be crying myself to sleep because I'm sleeping right next to somebody that doesn't want nothing to do with me. You know, um, this shit just reminds me, like, man, life is beautiful at times, and it's also very, very, very painful, very painful. And it doesn't care what you got going on. It's gonna stack one thing on top of another, on top of another, on top of another. That's just the way life is, right? Doesn't care, doesn't care. You know? And it's hurtful. It's very, very, very painful. And I'll read the comments sometimes, and I'll see people say, "Oh, you need to just get over it. Just forget about it. Just get over it." And I'm like, man, do you? Obviously you never been in my situation, because anybody that's in my situation is gonna tell you, yo, that's a lot. I remember being there, and I remember stuck in bed for days. That's what they're gonna tell you. Uh, it's not easy. It's not easy. And I hope, those comments that people are saying that type of stuff, I just hope y'all never go through this, man. Seriously. Seriously, I would not wish this on my fucking worst enemy. This is the absolute worst thing I've ever experienced. Hands down. Hands down. I'm telling you, hands down. I see my mother on a fucking corner slab with her head split open. Nothing compared to this. Nothing. Nothing. This is a whole different thing. And I say that it's because it's so different from anything I've ever felt. So different. You know, I'm literally mourning a death, but I still see that person walking around, right? So then it's like, man, hold up, that person's not dead. You know, it's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy, man. I just hope, you know, just hope y'all don't have to go through this ever, man. Um, if y'all do, you're gonna come back to this video and be like, man, damn, this is what he was dealing with. If anything, he was downplaying it, right? If anything, he was downplaying it. And life has a funny way of turning us into the same things we laugh about, the same things we judge, same things we laugh about. That's what life turns us into. Almost like to say, oh yeah, here, you like to judge, you like to laugh? Here, put on those shoes. Let's see how comfortable they are. I found them for myself plenty of times, plenty of times. Oh, I think this is the first video I got through without crying in a little while, thankfully. I hope y'all have a great day. Be safe. Enjoy your weekend, man. Remember, any of y'all got some shit going on, fix it. Please fix it. Please, please, please. Thank you. Remember to be kind, loving, and patient, Joe.